Few words get snowmobilers as revved up, as ready to drag race, smoke belts, line up toe-to-toe, ski-to-ski in an all-out horsepower brawl to the death as this word. And while the options are few, there's a new horse in the stable. The word is turbo, and the sled is the 2019 Ski-Doo Renegade X-RS 900 Ace Turbo. It's a sled we've been waiting for years, as it's been secretly veiled going through the development process. We all had high hopes that Ski-Doo would bring out a horsepower crusher sled. Heck, lots of folks figured it might be a triple or even a 1000cc twin to resurrect the old Mach Z. But in the end, none were right, and the horsepower numbers were different than you might have expected. The horsepower produced by the 900 Ace Turbo is $150. And while a lot of people think that just because it says turbo on the hood, it's got to compete with other turbos in the industry, you're going to need to reset your thinking. If Ski-Doo wanted to build a 200 horsepower turbo, they would have. But I'm guessing the reason they brought a smooth-running, very efficient 900 Ace Turbo at 150 horse is because that's where the market is calling for one. And given their current position and sales numbers, they're probably right. The 900 Turbo in this Ski-Doo is very similar to the 900 Turbo found in the Can-Am Maverick X3, but it's not the same. However, it does share some similarities that are very important. The positioning of the turbo so close to the exhaust, like literally less than 6 inches from the cylinders, is similar to the Maverick, whereby having a smaller, high-spooling turbo so close, you can reduce the turbo lag to almost nothing and deliver hard-hitting performance efficiently and quickly. And that's a huge key to making a turbo sled that folks really enjoy riding. And when you link up that quick-reacting turbo to the Rev G4 chassis, well, you get something pretty incredible. Keep in mind this was the first time that a 4-stroke turbo had been put into the G4 chassis at the factory, so there was definitely some fitment work to be done. The G4 widebody is the new look for the turbo model, and it allows the turbo to fit properly. Being very reminiscent of the original Rev widebody that housed the Mach Z, the wider body panels and puffed up front end carry a mean-looking stance that's love or hate. Now, something that's really important to remember is that this sled, the 900 Ace Turbo, is a replacement for the 1200 Fortec. It's not a competitor for the Yamaha and Arctic Cat Turbo. The Renegade X-RS 137 platform and the Ace Turbo are sweet. It hits so nice and builds steam like a freight train. The turbo lag is minimal at best, and the hesitation we all couldn't stand with the 1200 Fortec, yeah, it's nowhere to be found. It's pretty surprising this is only a 900 under the hood. At 25% less displacement than the 1200, this engine feels so much better. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty concerned about the handling of the G4 chassis with all this extra weight of a 4-stroke motor over the skis, but I was pleasantly surprised how it rides. Yeah, it's heavier than the 850, and yes, there is more ski pressure, which we feel is definitely the most in the industry, but it works very well, and in XRS clothes with the sweet KYB reservoirs, you get excellent compliance, and the front end does not seem to get overdriven, even when pushing it. We did find in aggressive cornering situations, when you catch something on the outside ski, the inside ski does lift much harder than the 850 and causes you to need to tap the brake to settle it down, or exaggerate your body English that much more. Now, all this to say it's a 4-stroke, and that's expected. More weight up front has always meant a more pronounced inside ski lift from any sled, no matter the manufacturer. While you can only get a 900 Ace Turbo in 2019 in the 137-inch length, we figure that's probably going to change in upcoming seasons. But for right now, 137 seems to fit the bill just right. As always, the R-Motion 137-inch rail skid floats through everything we throw at it. Love or hate our opinion, we tell the truth, and this rear skid is where the buck stops. I can absolutely rip through chatter, whoops, or cruise at big digits along the smooth top, and the R-Motion puts up no fuss. Should I need a little bit more big bump compliance? I'm onto the tunnel adjusters for some added compression and preload, and back at it in seconds. It's quite surprising how the extra body width and increased girth of this sled don't bother me like they once did on the older chassis with the 1200 Fortec. I find myself forgetting that I'm actually riding a 4-stroke, but yet I'm enjoying all the benefits of a 4-stroke with the performance near a 2-stroke big bore. Will it run with an 800 class sled? Maybe. Do I care now that I'm getting used to it? Not at all. I've always been a two-stroke rider. I run off-trail quite a bit, and while I don't think this engine package will be the off-trail or mountain rider's dream, I do think it's perfectly positioned in the Renegade X-RS clothing. It sacrifices nothing, delivers impressive performance that's very usable on trail, and has the reliability of a Rotax 4-stroke. And in my books, that's a win-win-win. With the performance this sled delivers, I can now see 600 class two-stroke riders looking for a bit more reliability as well as performance, confidently making the switch to a 4-stroke. If you enjoyed the video that you just watched, like it and then subscribe to our page for more great content from Snowtrax TV.